I love this question. Why do golf pros not use a baseball grip more often? Hello, I'm Mark Crossfield here answering your golf questions. This is my Ask Golf Guru channel, so my second channel. If you've probably seen me before. If you have, that's on my main channel. This is my second channel, which is purely dedicated to answering your golf questions. So if you've got any, hit the comments up, hit any of my social channels up, and I'll pick a few each week, and hopefully you might have a chance of featuring and getting your question answered. So baseball grip, what is a baseball grip? Well, first off, let's show you that the baseball grip is, as you can imagine, how you might hold a baseball bat. It's 10 fingers, all fingers engaged with the club, holding on, opposed to golf grips, which is interlocking that I use, overlapping, little finger goes over first, which I've also used, or the old baseball. Why are pros not using this? And I honestly think it's just basic coaching, like you are taught from the beginning. It's one of those kind of basic lessons that I've taught so many people, which is to hold the club either this way or this way. And the theory behind these linking of hands is that you've got the hands trying to work more together, where if you've got a baseball grip, people say one might take over. So if you think about club face control being very linked to the angle and direction the wrist and hands are in, if you've got one hand dominating, you might find certain jars and twists and turns that might get in there. So by linking with a interlock or overlap, the idea is that they're more passive. They're kind of working as one unit. And that's stuff I've said for years and taught that, and like it just seems to make so much sense in our heads. But then as I went on journeys of searching for more distance and challenging myself to see what is right and wrong as a golf coach, rather than just delivering YouTube friendly tips for people, which some people are happy doing, I started to think this is ridiculous. Like, I don't really have any less control 10 finger grip to interlock to overlap. If anything, I feel I have a little bit more speed chances by engaging all fingers onto the grip, opposed to I use interlock. If you think about it, 2 of my fingers aren't even touching the club. They're holding on to the other hand. And when I've done a few tests, it's marginal differences. Like I do feel like I can top end with a 10 finger grip. But the problem is, because I've grown up and been taught to hold it a certain way, interlock, having to change the 10 finger grip just makes me anxious. It feels so different, and the gains are so small to barely there when I go 10 finger for speed. I don't notice much difference in control, but I feel a difference in control when I get on the course, and I just can't let go. So I do think if you had more golfers being taught to have any versions of these grips, I'm gonna go 10 finger grip here now, see what happens. Like, it does feel good with my driver. Like, I can absolutely really offend the grip and the club. I've just got more of me touching it. But on the golf course, and I've tried it on the golf course, it was just too unnerving. And it felt quite unnerving on the smaller shots, where I felt so much more comfortable linked up together. So I think the reason you see pros not using baseball grips is because they're just taught not to. I do think you might see a move away from that in the future with our understandings of the premiums of distance. And if anyone finds that they do hit the ball harder, further with a baseball grip, well, I can't, why would they not use it? Because I do think that the control element is more of a lovely little myth that we say that probably isn't really much of a thing if you measure it. So I think it's what people get used to. For me, that's very much the case, and other pros and players I've spoke to, changing what it feels like to hold the club makes you feel like you haven't got the control. You hit one bad shot, you just run away from it. So I think it's coaching. Great question, thanks for posting. If you've got any golf questions, hit the comments up down below, send me the question. I'm answering questions every week. We are here on this channel simply to answer your golf questions. Thanks for watching.